In my last video, we talked about what makes a good trainer. Today, we're flipping the script because even the best trainer in the world can't help you if you're not showing up as a good client. Why does this even matter? Because this isn't about more than a workout. If all you want is to move your body for an hour and check the box, you can do that anywhere, with or without a trainer. There are plenty of trainers out there who will let you coast, let you just go through the motions and let you leave exactly the same way you came in, except with maybe a little more back pain.
Well, first of all, that was an awesome burn.
If that's all you want, be honest about it, but don't mistake that for growth. A good trainer isn't just there to babysit your workouts. They're there to challenge and sharpen you and hold you accountable. And for that partnership to actually work, you have to show up as a good client. Because if you're in it for only the check mark, but not the transformation, you're cheating yourself. So in this video, we're going to cover exactly what it means to be a good client. The difference between showing up and actually doing the work. The two most important traits every client needs, the role you play in a trainer-client relationship, the questions you need to ask yourself if you really want to grow, the red flags that keep clients stuck, and how to know if you're getting the most out of your training. By the end, you'll know whether you're helping your trainer help you or we're just wasting both your time. Some clients hire trainers thinking, finally did it. I signed up, I showed up. That's the hard part. And yes, showing up is hard. It does matter. But showing up is not the end result. It's what gets you started. Showing up isn't a superpower if you don't back it up with effort. Here's the blunt truth. If you see your trainer once or twice a week and do absolutely nothing in between, you would be crazy to think you're gonna see real progress. 1 or 2 hours of effort cannot undo 166 hours of neglect. Progress isn't built in sessions alone, it's built in spaces between them. Let's be clear. Showing up loses its power if that's where you allow yourself to stop. In the beginning, sure, showing up consistently is a win. But if years go by and that's all you ever bring to the table, no effort, no accountability, no growth outside of those sessions, that's not progress. That's maintenance at best and stagnation at worst. Growth doesn't come from just showing up. Growth comes from what you do once you're there and what you carry forward when you leave. The two most important traits a good client can bring are ownership and effort. Ownership means taking responsibility for your body, your progress, and your choices. It means you don't outsource your health to your trainer. You know this is your work, and you show up to learn, apply, and take it with you beyond the session. Ownership looks like listening to your body, remembering your cues, paying attention to form, and applying what you've been taught. Effort means showing up ready to work, not just physically, but mentally. It's giving your best in the session and carrying that same commitment into your week. A trainer can open the door, but you have to walk through it. And the level of effort you bring is what determines how far you'll go. So what does it mean to be a good client? It means showing up ready, not just physically, but mentally. It means taking responsibility for your body and your effort. Yes, part of a trainer's job is accountability. We're here to push you when you don't want to push yourself, to make you do the work you'd otherwise avoid. But accountability only works if you also step up and carry your share of the load. If you rely only on your trainer to drag you through, you'll never build the strength of character, discipline, and ownership that lasts. A good client isn't looking for a babysitter or a cheerleader. They're looking for truth. They're willing to hear what needs to change and not get defensive. They're willing to fail forward, to mess up a rep, to be coached, to learn. And a good client understands that training is not social hour. Yes, it's important to share, to build trust, to open up. That's part of the relationship. But talking should never become the point of the session. Conversation should not break up your breathing, interrupt your form, or cut your range of motion in half. What you want to say can wait until you're catching your breath between sets, not while you're in the middle of your reps. Training requires presence. If you're zoning out, chatting, or letting the words replace effort, you're not giving your body or your trainer what they need from you. and you are the one that pays the price. A good client doesn't constantly throw responsibility back onto the trainer. If you're always asking,
what am I doing?
When it's an exercise you've been taught, or when you're asked, where did you feel the work? And your response is,
I don't know.
That's not cute, that's disengagement. That's putting the ownership of your progress onto your trainer instead of yourself. A good client tunes in, learns, and takes responsibility for knowing their body. Here's the difference. A bad client wants to be carried. A good client wants to be coached. A bad client resists discomfort. A good client leans into it. A bad client shows up and checks the box. A good client shows up and does the work. Listen, training is intimate. It's not just physical. It's mental, emotional, sometimes even spiritual work. Your trainer can only challenge you to the level of trust you give them. If you're closed off, defensive, unwilling to be pushed, you'll never get what you came for. A good client doesn't just hand their trainer the steering wheel, they partner. They engage, they collaborate, they ask questions, they learn the why behind the program. They don't wait to be spoon-fed cues, they learn their own movement. And here's the thing. Sometimes your trainer is gonna care more about your growth than you do. They're gonna see the potential in you that you don't wanna face. A good client doesn't run from that. They embrace it because that's what makes a partnership powerful. So here are a few questions to ask yourself if you really wanna know if you're being a good client. Am I showing up prepared to work or just be entertained? Do I arrive on time, warmed up, focused, ready to give my effort? Or do I stroll in distracted, hoping my trainer will just drag me through it? Do I apply what my trainer teaches me outside of the gym? Or do I leave it all in the session? If they've given me corrective drills, posture cues, or habit changes, am I practicing them on my own? Do I take responsibility for my habits? Nutrition, sleep, stress, or do I expect training alone to fix everything? If I'm sabotaging myself outside the gym, am I honest about it? And am I working to change that? Do I welcome feedback or do I resist it, make excuses or get defensive? When my trainer calls me out, do I lean in and learn or do I brush it off and stay the same? Am I consistent? Or am I hoping sporadic effort will give me lasting results? Do I cancel often, skip homework, or leave it all to chance? If you can't answer those questions with ownership and honesty, you're not being coached. You're being carried. You'll know you're being a good client when you start to see training bleed into your life. When you start to stand taller, not just because of posture, but because of confidence. When you catch yourself making better choices on your own because you've taken ownership. You'll know when your trainer starts pushing you in ways that go beyond the barbell. When the work starts to feel uncomfortable, but you lean in instead of retreat. That's when you know you're not being trained, you're being transformed. On the other side, let's be real about the not so good clients. They show up, but they're half in. They want the trainer to do the work for them. They expect to be fixed instead of learning to fix themselves. They think just having a trainer is all they have to do. They nod along in sessions, but never apply anything outside of them. They resist feedback, make excuses, and wonder why nothing changes. And here's the part nobody wants to hear. Your bad habits add up. Skipping sleep, eating like it doesn't matter, living stressed out, ignoring your movement. They accumulate. They compound. And then one day you say the line I hear all the time, I never used to have to. Fill in the blank.
Work this hard, watch what I eat, stretch, lift weights.
But that excuse doesn't hold up because it's that, an excuse. Life changes. Your body changes. I don't know what to tell you. The truth is, you either adapt with it or you fall behind. That's reality. Stop clinging to what you never used to have to and start taking ownership for what you need to do now. Not so good clients think that just writing the check is all the work. I have a trainer, therefore I've done everything I need to do. The truth is, no trainer, no matter how good, can save you from that mindset. That's not training, that's dependency. And here's the subtle danger. When you avoid ownership, when you resist challenge, when you offload responsibility, you don't just stall in the gym, you weaken in life. Because how you train is how you show up everywhere else. So here are some red flags to watch for in yourself as a client. You only push when your trainer is watching. You rely on their cues every single rep, even after months of practice. You resist the uncomfortable conversations about nutrition, sleep, or habits. You look for validation more than feedback. You cancel often or come late and expect the trainer to just make it work. You think soreness equals success instead of progress. You measure effort by how tired you feel, not by how much you've grown. If you catch yourself in those habits, it's time to wake up because they're not holding you back. You are. At the end of the day, being a good client is about ownership and effort. You have to step into discomfort. You have to be willing to be coached. And most importantly, you have to take responsibility for your own body and your own life. A trainer can guide you, support you, and push you, but they cannot nor should not carry you. That's your job. Let's be honest, sometimes a trainer and client just aren't a good fit. Trainers are allowed to fire clients if it's not working out. And by not working out doesn't just mean you don't get along. It means if a client shows up with no effort, no ownership, no willingness to be coached, then the trainer can't do their job. And on the flip side, clients should absolutely advocate for themselves. If your trainer isn't challenging you, holding you accountable, or giving you a clear plan, you have every right to walk away. A healthy partnership means both people are all in. And if you're doing all these things, owning your effort, leaning into discomfort, being present, and you still feel like you're not growing or being challenged, then it's time to assess your trainer. Remember what I said, this is a partnership. Open dialogue is part of the process. If you're showing up fully and your trainer isn't, that needs to be addressed. That's part of your ownership. Here's what I want you to take with you. You are capable of more than you realize. Training should be a place you practice that truth. It should be both a safe place and a scary place. Safe enough to try, scary enough to grow. And this isn't just about you. You carry a responsibility to your future self, to the people who love you, to your community, and to the legacy you leave behind. Training is where you practice for the bigger stuff, the eternal stuff, the things that matter after the workout ends. Don't waste your trainer's time. Don't waste your time. Step in, own it, and do the work, because that's the only way you'll ever see who you can become, and the only way you'll give the best of yourself to the world around you.